Hello there. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's edition of The Business Age. You'll be with me, Naringwa Fiona Motoni. On this edition, we dive deep into an exciting initiative within the financial sector by the Central Bank of Rwanda. We'll be looking at the regulatory sandbox. We speak to different entrepreneurs. We get to understand how is it really creating a supportive environment for them to test and scale their innovations. Stay tuned. Ingrid, thank you so much for making time to speak to us. We're very eager to dive right into the topic, get to really understand what the government of Rwanda is doing, but also what the Central Bank of Rwanda is doing to equip young entrepreneurs into the innovation, into the space. What would you say inspired the establishment of the regulatory sandbox by the National Bank of Rwanda? What were its key objectives and how does it operate?
Thank you for having us. So there has been an ever-present conversation about the relationship between innovation and regulation. The argument was, do people innovate first and then innovation follows, or which one comes first? And really at the end of the day, it's not about which one comes first. It's about creating an environment that really boosts innovation, because it's through innovation that we get several benefits for the regulator, for the clients, the customers, the people that we serve, and for the market. So regulatory sandboxes are part of those responses that regulators have put in place for innovation. There are many approaches, some more proactive, others less. For example, regulators could choose to just let innovation lead and then they watch. But also some regulators do choose to put in place facilities like regulatory sandbox. So it's in that angle that the National Bank of Rwanda created a regulatory sandbox. So you asked, what is a regulatory sandbox? So it's a regulatory facility. When I say a regulatory facility, what I mean is that it's established by means of regulation, and it provides flexibilities in terms of regulation. That is opposed to, for example, a technical sandbox that would provide you technology to test your solution. So we provide regulatory flexibilities to test a solution.
Can you provide an overview of maybe how the sandbox operates and its key objectives?
BNR regulatory sandbox was established by a regulation we've put in place in 2021. And the regulation establishes what is our scope and what is the eligibility criteria, what is the process for approval, and what is the outcome that we want. So one, the scope of the BNR regulatory sandbox, we serve institutions that are within our regulatory powers as BNR. As you know, the market of Rwanda, the financial market, is regulated by two institutions, the National Bank of Rwanda and the Capital Market Authority. So our scope is strictly the institutions that bring solutions within our regulatory scope. We also have an eligibility criteria that is quite different from other regulations. We look at three main things. One, we are looking for genuine innovations. How do we find genuine innovations? We ask ourselves, what solutions are you bringing to the market? Are you solving for particular pain points? It could be policy pain points, it could be market pain points, but are you solving for something, for a real issue in the market? Secondly, we look at readiness to test and deploy. At the end of the day, regulation is one piece. You also need to gather governance, capital, and some funding to be able to test. So we also look at that, readiness to test. And being in scope, it's every solutions that are within our regulatory powers, pension, saving, insurance, payments, banking solution, microfinance solutions. We receive applications on a cohort basis. So we do 3 cohorts a year. And on top of that, we conduct many sessions with innovators to support them to get the applications ready, to understand their regulations. So overall, that's how we operate the sandbox.
Tell us about your journey, how it started, where you are currently.
In 2021, that's when we approached BNR. But back then, there were no, everything related with laws of regulation to innovative ideas like ours. they were not in place. So we had to wait for some time. Then they told us that okay, there will be a program called Sandbox. They told us that that program will facilitate them to know and be able to regulate solutions that are innovative, like ours. And then I will happily say that we were the first ones to be allowed in the Sandbox, the first company in Rwanda. Then we had to go through all the process that were important, including 1 year testing with very, very few people, so that they could see everything that is related with our product.
We have built a platform currently under the testing phase with the Sandbox. The National Bank has integrated us in the Sandbox program, so that they can allow us to test with actual clients, actual insurance companies. So the platform is called coversoko.rw. If you go on the website, you can easily see the platform. You can make quotations. You can fill out forms to tell your insurer know who you are, what you're trying to insure, and then submit. So the platform is basically like an e-commerce for insurance services. It should be easy. So we do not believe insurance should be very difficult. We think it actually should be very seamless. Instead of being hours, our goal is to make it at most 5 minutes, which we believe is very possible with the right technologies that we have been able to build.
What we are bringing to the market, it's called Mine App. It's a mobile application that facilitates the collection and management of group. Here I mean all kinds of groups. Groups, they can be big, very huge, like let's say sport clubs fun or fun clubs, and they can also be small as a family group. So we help all those groups to collect funds for events and for projects they might have. Yes, that's what we do.
Okay, very interesting. And just talk to us about the role of technology when it comes to, even when you're looking at innovation, when you're looking at the importance of adapting and leveraging these digital tools for economic growth in regards to what you're doing.
Yeah, I will say that actually technology plays a huge role. I can really say that, with technology is kinda the magic of our time. With technology you can do much with less. That's why we have to embrace technology in literally everything. So I believe we are here to play a small part in that. And, I can't forget that currently my biological mom, she's not in Rwanda, but we can talk every single day on phone. I can see her, she can see me. But that is possible because of technology. So a lot of good things, including, let's say, sending money, this whole thing that came with mobile money and things like that. It makes our lives easier and allow us to have a bigger productivity and things like that. So technology is really paramount to the advancement of the society. And we have up to 200 something users, and we were expecting that, and we are looking forward to grow our user base.
Now, do talk to us about the demand. You say now you've just been live since this month. You have about 200 people. How much potential do you see for your platform, and how much impact can it have on an individual?
I will say that the demand, even locally, is very big. There is no one single adult in Rwanda who is not part of, I would say, like 10 groups. There's no one single person. And and there is no one single adult in Rwanda, I say 16 going up, right? Who does not contribute at least 20 times per year. I mean, if it is Ibimina, informal saving groups, if it is something like wedding groups, family groups, most of Rwandans are part of churches. So your church might help the needy, they might be in the middle of construction, all those things. Rwandans participate in all those things. And we are the solution for that. So Rwandans, it's already millions of people who need this solution.
After being in the industry for some time, realized that there is one specific industry that keeps lagging behind all the others, right? So you can easily get a loan, transact money on your phone in the comfort of your own home, but with insurance, it's a totally different story. For have a basic solution such as insurance would literally take you almost like 6 hours, sometimes days without having that. So we're trying to see what we can do to make sure people have access to the insurance services that they need, especially that the majority of these are even mandatory to have. So we are revolutionizing access to insurance services, starting for people who already buy insurance to the people who actually don't have access, such as like people in the low and middle income of the economy.
How would you assess performances of the companies that are part of the regulatory services? And would you say that the impact has already been felt on ground when you're looking at the larger fintech ecosystem?
So one, when I reflect about from the time we started to now, there's a number of gains we've had. We still have a long way to go, but I'll tell you a few things that I feel we have achieved as impact. Number one, we have really sort of contributed to the maturing of the market. When we started the regulatory sandbox, we faced a lot of readiness challenges. The fintech market itself was at a very nascent stage with limited understanding of regulations, very limited avenues for raising funds, and there was a lot of readiness challenges in that sense. So establishing the regulatory sandbox enabled BNR as a regulator to constantly engage with the market, and that has really contributed to market maturity from that time to where it is still a journey, but that has grown. And part of that is also we have seen that when we started, there was very heavy concentration of applicants in the payment space. And really, when you look at the payment space, you would know that that's not where we need much of innovation because we already have some well-established facilities. But over time, over several engagements and organizing thematic sandboxes, we've able to also diversify solutions. We've got insurtech solutions, we've got crowdfunding solutions. So diversification of solutions also is a proof of innovation. Where do we want to go? We want to get you into a space where by leveraging this sandbox and other facilities that are in the market, we are able to create solutions that are solving for Rwandans' needs.
When you're speaking to entrepreneurs or even players within the fintech space, regulation is usually one of the main challenge when you're having the conversations. But having the regulatory sandbox in itself is one step towards the goal of having a vibrant ecosystem. How much of an impact would you say just having this attention put on it, trying to bridge this gap, is having on the growth and development of the fintech space in Rwanda?
So definitely it's contributing to having a vibrant ecosystem. We are having more young people feeling seen and understood. We are creating opportunities for fintechs to showcase and foster partnership. We try to create also a supporting environment of initiatives around the sandbox because we know we are not just solving for the regulatory issues. We're also solving for a partnership issue. We are also solving for a funding issue. We are solving for a knowledge issue. So that's why as we establish the sandbox, we also implement other supporting initiatives. So we try to foster, again, collaboration with incumbents. It's important for fintechs that the big firms open doors to them, hear them out, and probably partner with them. Definitely partner with them is what we encourage. It's important for fintechs to get access to available knowledge. The research we do here at BNR, the global partners that we receive, it's important that we channel all of that. And the sandbox is really contributing to creating a vibrant local fintech ecosystem.
Very interesting. When you look at other elements, whether it's ed tech, health tech, they've progressed very fast, very rapidly. But now when you're looking at other areas, whether it's the insurance sector, fintech is also progressing very well. What are some of the solutions that you've seen come into the sandbox? What areas would you say they are mainly tackling?
So we've seen solutions in the payment space. I already said that. And we've seen solutions in insurtechs. So basically, fintech companies that are trying to facilitate the buying and selling of insurance, understanding of insurance policies. We've seen solutions that facilitate people to save, gamified saving, saving in groups, all of that. We've seen solutions that do digital lending and have different prompts for lending and financial management. We've also seen agent support services. Those were very, I would say, impressive, agent aggregation and support services. So yeah, we've seen those number of solutions throughout the period.
When you're looking throughout the period, looking at the experience, what are some of the challenges that you can say you've come across in managing the sandbox, especially when you're looking in areas like adopting of regulations for emerging technologies, be it Bitcoin, be it AI? How are you navigating around that?
So the good thing about our regulatory approach is we really don't focus on technology, because technology is an enabler, really. Our regulatory focus remains on the financial services being provided. We provide safety, we provide all the regulatory guidances through our regulations. So whether you're leveraging AI, machine learning, blockchain technology, whatever technology your solution rides on, we still remain focused on the financial services being issued. And the good thing is that we have noticed that our fintechs are really leveraging all those technologies, and it's a good thing to see that the market is jumping on those technologies to deliver solutions.
When it comes to data, how do you navigate that, or even looking at safeguarding data privacy, security, which have been on the rise with this adoption of digital technology, digital tools?
Yeah, I think we are still solving for the access of data. Access of data is still very complicated for fintechs, and that's a challenge that we are trying to solve. We are working on an open finance framework in Rwanda that will facilitate access to data for all market players. The good thing is that Rwanda is very proactive in terms of regulation to safeguard data privacy and data protection. We are quite advanced with our data privacy and protection law. So really here, even I would say the bigger challenge for us as our focus is on fintechs, our challenge is them accessing data. Otherwise, we work with the National Cybersecurity Authority to even ensure that protection is still emphasized, that the regulations are respected. But our main focus is to solve for access of data while we remain compliant with the regulations.
How does this align with the country's broader vision of becoming a financial hub?
It is very much aligned. I see two things when we say we want to become a financial hub. One, we want to have a strong local ecosystem that itself is attracting international players to come and partner and really create even bigger impact. So what we are doing today is to empower ecosystem, facilitate our ecosystem, but also regulatory navigation is a challenge in many of other African and even beyond markets. So we make our regulations understandable, accessible, smooth enough to navigate. We are already attracting international players in the market. But we don't forget our local market as we do it, because it's important that our local market partners with those to be able to create an even bigger impact. So I believe this really contributes to being a financial hub. But not only that, Rwanda has the potential to really become the testing ground of great solutions. So that couples with other advantages, like we have a predominantly youth population, access to internet and access to cell phone is growing, and we have a dense city, a dense and a young city. All of those are other aspects that really complement to making Rwanda a financial hub.
I want to tell Rwandans that we are here to solve them. That's one. Second, we are going to make it possible that whatever group you're creating or being part of here, being in Rwanda, you will be able to act through that group, or to know what's going in that group, with other members being wherever in the world, and they will be able to take part, contribute, pledge, contribute in the organization, know how things are going, share feedback and things like that. Soon it will be available worldwide. Already 174 countries, they can access our application. But currently we are only using one payment method, which is the limitation factor. The payment method is MTN mobile money. But very soon we'll be having all the mobile money in Africa, having MasterCards, Visa cards, going all the way up to Alipay, Google Pay, Apple Pay, and WeChat Pay. Like, we will make sure it's everywhere. Another thing, currently we are using just with our solution, it has only English. Very soon we are going to add Kinyarwanda, French, Swahili, and all other important languages, so that it can be accessible everywhere.
How much demand is there, even when you're looking at the insurance penetration currently in Rwanda? Maybe if you can talk to us, how crucial is it and how much of a need?
The reality of insurance services is actually so much of a need that we realize. You remember last year alone, Rwanda as a country lost $200 million to effects of the climate change. That tells you everything you need to know about having a safety net as a country, but also as a people. So the need is there. Nobody actually refutes it. It's just that the problem that the actual companies supposed to deliver these solutions do not have the right technologies to do it. And that's where we actually come in to bridge the gap between traditional insurance and the modern era of technology, to make sure these things are actually very accessible in the modern way.
What are some of the challenges or the limitations since you've been trying to roll it out? How has it been? What are the learnings that you're getting?
Yes, so it's very interesting to realize how much people are trying to evade insurance as much as they evade tax, because they don't necessarily want to go through the procedures of acquiring insurance. So what that tells you is that people know insurance is a really good idea, but the reality that they face trying to buy insurance during their claims and all that, they think it's not worth the cost. That's number one. Number two, the truth is the insurance companies around, they don't necessarily have the right solutions in place to integrate with solutions like us, and that is the problem. It feels like Kovosoko is ahead of its time, and I refuse to believe it. So we also have platforms that actually agents and brokers within the sector can use to deliver the right services to their users, because we're not necessarily willing to change the entire ecosystem. Instead of having one platform that allows buyers to do it all on their own, we also understand that some people do not necessarily have the language, the financial skills, and all that to make some of these decisions. So they used advisors, right? So we give a platform to these advisors to deliver those services, but also as a bigger goal, we're also willing to integrate with some of the banks so that the banks can also afford on top insurance, put insurance on top of their daily offerings.
How does this in turn contribute to boosting investor confidence into the country? And do you think that's an element that could attract more FDIs into the country?
Navigating the regulatory environment is a key consideration for investors. And the work that Rwanda is doing through the regulatory sandbox, but also through streamlining the regulatory processes overall, is going to be very crucial. And I give you a date, a few years from now, you will see that Rwanda is going to be a preferred place of investment, highly attributed to the smoothness of the regulatory environment. The regulatory sandbox is within a broader mandate of financial sector development. We are working towards developing this financial sector. Today, the financial sector contributes heavily to the GDP, and that also speaks to the impact it has to the people of Rwanda. So overall, the regulatory sandbox is one piece, but we also have another number of initiatives for financial inclusion, financial education, and financial sector development.
Now we're seeing the strategy, fintech that has been launched. With that in place, do you see how it will impact you as a player within the fintech space, and how do you see it making it easier?
I would say that the strategy will really help, because it's all about connecting all the points that are important, all the organizations that we will need support from. So it's literally like having one platform that will help a solution like ours and other fintech companies. So this is very, very important for us to grow locally and internationally. I think they're doing a really good job, and you know, I believe this will make it, for example, easy to get your anything you might need, let's say from Kigali International Financial Center, BNR, and any other important organization in one spot. Like it's one stop side.
Well, there you have it. You've heard from the Central Bank of Rwanda as well as different entrepreneurs on what is being done to create a thriving fintech ecosystem here in Rwanda. You are with me, Naringwa Fiona Mothoni.